Hi Aquarius. Welcome to your mid-March 2020 Tarot and Astrology reading. This applies to Sun, Moon and Rising in Aquarius. The astrology will be most applicable to Aquarius Rising, but this will apply to all in some way. So Aquarius, Saturn is moving into your sign. That spirit of yours was always meant to revolutionize. It was always meant to tell people what they can't see for themselves. Nine of Pentacles. Show people their value and their importance. Show people that they have power when they believe that they do. And possibly even show people when they're beautiful. Because Lord knows society has taught us that it's incredibly important to be beautiful, but it's also quite isolating. It makes you incredibly popular in a social setting, yet also kind of lonely. Interesting, isn't it? How these ideas make us feel like we need something and can also make us at the same time feel like it separates us. There's this belief that beautiful women will be more successful, but beautiful women don't have friends. Or there's nothing to them. I love Aquarius because Aquarius asks, who's the they when people say they say? They say this, and Aquarius says, who says that? Who had an ulterior motive there? What are they trying to sell? What does it mean? And isn't that a little bit outdated? According to Aquarius, the way the world is at the moment, at present, is outdated. And as a moon in Aquarius and a Saturn in Aquarius, at the minute, I feel very out of step with the world around me. Very out of step. You oftentimes, when you have Aquarius very closely in your chart, you oftentimes want to say, can't you see? Can't you see it for what it is? Can't you see what they're doing? In terms of the collective, not necessarily in your social circle, but in terms of the world, can't you see? Why? Can't you see what they're doing? Can't you see why that benefits them? Can you? And that's where Aquarius gets kind of lonely. Because not everybody wants to question the people at the top. I often think Lisa Simpson's an Aquarius, personally. A lot of people say she's a Taurus. I think she's an Aquarius. The world. And here we are. All of us together, inhabiting the same planet, bleeding the same blood, all seemingly going in different directions. Different motives, different operandi. Yep, it's confusing. Saturn rules the world card, don't you know? And Saturn moves into your sign. So does Mars. Around the new moon in Aries, which blesses us with this new start and wishes Saturn's move into Aquarius well, we are asked to consider what we choose to do around this time, because welcoming Saturn into your sign is very, very important. You must show Saturn the same respect you would show a very, very, very smart, very wise, very experienced professor that really, really, really knows something, because with Saturn, it's important, justice, that you keep your karma clean, that you keep your motives clear. You could be dealing with a Libra in a big way with all this cardinal energy shift. Mars remains in Capricorn right up until it moves into your sign on the last day of March. Mars and Saturn will meet. That's quite a conversation. Page of Cups, Six of Cups, the World, Queen of Pentacles, and Temperance. Beautiful, 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 beautiful energy. Gorgeous. And underneath we have the King of Cups. Wow. And I always draw 2 extra cards to go with the top. So the Devil and the Nine of Swords. Do you know the trouble with living in the future, Aquarius? Is that when you live too much in the future, oftentimes you're met with this crippling anxiety of it. Sometimes you see the way things are going and nobody else does, and that's incredibly lonely. It's like having a premonition of doom whenever you're at a party. Even if it's not even a premonition of doom, you can quite clearly find yourself so embedded in the future that you're lost there. And that the people in your future projection are all but phantoms, and you feel quite lonely. And that's what the Devil and the Nine of Swords is. It's this obsession with the negative, lower emotions the devil can pull you into. And Saturn in Capricorn and Jupiter in Capricorn. And Neptune in Pisces. And the North and South Node, all of it is quite anxiety inducing if you let it be. But the beautiful thing about Neptune, King of Cups, with the 10 of Swords, is that this premonition of doom at the party, 3 of Cups, all exists as a motivation to be more clear, to prevent building things on false pretenses, to avoid absolute destruction, instead be more moderate, more connected, more peaceful, more understanding of self. Because there is a trauma here for you that involves your connection to people in general. How you feel about them. How do you feel at work at the minute? How do you feel in your neighborhood? How do you feel? How do you feel? Really? The beautiful thing about Temperance, and I love Temperance as a card, but it's oftentimes, and don't hate me for saying this, it's oftentimes an energy that is understood in hindsight. By the time we get to April, you will understand how much of your anxiety is due to your fixed nature. Because as much as you enjoy living in the future, any fixed sign has a bit of an issue with change. And you'll be very sensitive at the minute to that Saturn shift into your sign. Saturn being, of course, your original ruler. Saturn being, of course, this impeccably put together, firm but fair professor. Kind of. That's the energy because Jupiter's in Capricorn. And the earth signs trouble you the end of this month. And they don't trouble you because they are problematic. They trouble you, particularly Taurus, they trouble you because they are evoking emotions that you would really rather rationalize. But the beautiful thing about Temperance is that it is the blend of that emotion and that action, that passionate fire and that sensitive water, blending together to create something divine. The Temperance is the guardian angel, a spiritual connection, something so comforting at a time when ego wants you to believe that you're alone and that all is not well. All is doomed. That is what this is doing. Saturn, the shift is very delicate for you, Aquarius, and at this Aries new moon, I keep going to say full moon, I don't know why. At this Aries new moon, you must understand where you are living in the past and living in the future. And wonder and decide whether or not, just for the moment, you could be so calm that you are in the present. Because this new moon in Aries will dictate how a lot of the rest of the year goes for you. And of course, I did not mention this, but Aries season and the new moon in particular is a lot to do, Aquarius, with the way that you communicate, the way that you vocalize things. Page of Cups, particularly the way you vocalize your feelings. There is a water sign in your life that wants to know why you're behaving the way you are. Because it's not like you. There is an earth sign in your midst that wants you to be a bit more present with them. And the Scorpios in your life, and the Taurus, and the Leo, and the fellow Aquarians all want you to start this Saturn cycle with an open mind and a commitment to learning, where even you can get a bit stuck in your ways, despite thinking so highly of your ability to rationalize and reason and interpret information. Smack bang in the middle, we have the Six of Cups, Aquarius, and this is a lot to do with your past, but it's also to do with your connection to other people. And with Venus and Uranus both in your family sector, your fourth house, they're kind of connecting and giving you a little bit of confusion about what your home situation is going to be or what you're getting from your family members. It can feel quite erratic. And in that sense, yes, maybe it feels a little bit destabilizing, but focus on Venus. Focus on Venus bringing you this beauty into that area. And don't be afraid to vocalize love, even if you feel a little bit as though not everyone understands it. The beautiful thing about Saturn in Aquarius is that I think people will have more understanding of your nature. And with Mars being there too, of course, they're going to understand that a lot of the time you're not cold. You're just interested, you know? And being interested in something requires a little bit of hesitancy. Because when you're too attached to a situation, you're no longer objective, you know? But what's beautiful about this is that it's asking you to be a little bit more objective of the way that you're feeling. Temperance is that guardian angel, and the devil is our inner demons. And for you, Aquarius, with Mercury retrograde having been in your sign, I think it's made you kind of anxious about a lot of things. And an old vice has come up, and that is exactly the vices that you're feeling at the minute, the anxieties that you're feeling are exactly what you're going to have to face and understand and find some healing and resolution to when Saturn goes into your sign. Now, if you are an Aquarius looking for love, I talked a lot in the March reading about how love was very much in the air for you. And that stands. But the energies that we face around that Aries new moon is a lot to do with the restrictions that you're feeling and how we could work with those and how we could tailor those and how we could change those. There's a very strong sense, Aquarius, with the Six of Cups and the Page of Cups, a combination that I believe came out No. The Six of Cups came out for Scorpio. Page of Cups, I think, was Capricorn. There's kind of a sense there that there could be a reconnection with love that is quite troubled, provided you just go inwards and see where maybe you are being purposefully restrictive because maybe you just don't feel ready. Your anxiety might scare you away from love a little bit. And I think you would rather say, no, I'm just not ready for love, or I've too much of a mission here on earth to contribute. But I think there's a water sign that would really, really, really like to love you in whatever way you'd like them to. I think they're still wondering what you're doing. I think they're wondering very much why you're able to hurt them so deeply. But that's just the way that you guys view feelings. It's different. Wouldn't it be nice to have a complete change in love? Two of Cups and the Death card. If you're still in some way in love with a Scorpio, even though there's a lot of pain, I think they kind of want to talk again. I think they're still open to it, which is big because you guys are both fixed signs. Water signs in general, I think, are kind of hoping that you will find a way to heal it and make it better. But it depends very much, Aquarius, and this goes for all your relationships, on whether or not you can heal this addiction, whether you can heal this affliction, whatever it is. Feels like it's with you. But the best way to end that feeling of restriction with the Two of Cups and Death card, it feels very much like the way you can end it is to understand love a little bit better. And if a significant relationship had to end in some way, and Mercury retrograde has spun the whole thing back up around, whether it works or not, there's more to be learned. And you like learning. We'll clarify the world before we go. Ooh. Yeah. Those water signs really, really, really want your attention. King of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the Chariot. You're on a mission. You're on a big mission. King of Cups, Knight of Wands, the Chariot. You want to lead, you want to drive something forward. And if you're dealing with a water sign or a fire sign, I think you're finally looking in the same direction. We'll clarify the Devil and the Nine of Swords to see where we go from here. Ooh. Seven of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Your fears, your deepest fears, your addictions all come from an illusionary standpoint. I suggest, Aquarius, that while Saturn moves into your sign, that some form of therapy would be beneficial for you, understanding what it is that you really want. The Seven of Cups and the Nine of Cups is very much be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Make sure that it's coming from a healthy place, yeah? Focus on the healing. Give up alcohol for a bit. Give up your vice for a bit. See what happens. And if your vice is love, restructure in your head what love means then. I'll see you guys in April. I love you, Aquarius. Happy Saturn return. Bye.